Hello everyone. Today I'll be painting Trent, the Kodama Treant. He's the first of many miniatures I'll be painting from an 8-bit dungeon crawler inspired board game named Super Dungeon Explorer Forgotten King. Here, I'm base coating with P3 Beaten Purple. The two other major colors used are P3 Idrian Flesh and Rin Flesh. I'm just covering the model with one thin coat here. This helps preserve the details and the contrast. I'm using a mix of beaten purple and Idrian Flesh as the base color for the tree trunk and tree bark. These models have a lot less accessories and doodads compared to those from the Warhammer universe. Still, there's plenty of details to paint. I mix some Rin Flesh into the beaten purple to paint the vines. With this set, I'm hoping to practice painting with brighter colors, mixing my own colors, and just painting more quickly in general. Because we use thinned down purple paint, the leaves are already kind of interesting with the difference in saturation. Here, I'm using Cygnar blue base to define some shadows and add more color variation. To help the transition between the purple and the blue, I'm glazing in a thin mixture of the two colors. Time for a dental checkup. Instead of using pure black, I'm using Vallejo Model Air Camouflage Black Green. I'm dotting the eyes with a mix of Vallejo Model Color Light Sea Gray and Green Sky. Always reposition your model for better access when you're painting fine details. I'm putting in some of this green mix into the back of the mouth and blending it out. I'm going for a phantasmal tree spirit glowing effect. And here's a close-up of how that looks. Trent's skin's looking a bit pale, so I decided to boost the saturation using Vallejo Model Color Violet Red. I'm dry brushing the model here with an oval brush. It's a really easy way to naturally highlight your model. By first wiping off most of the paint from your brush, and by moving your brush in this way, the details and raised edges catch more paint while the recesses stay closer to their original color. Next, I'm placing some highlights and drawing some lines to break up the shapes. This is another mix of beaten purple and Rin Flesh. Here I'm experimenting with a way to make the vines look more natural. I'm using Vallejo Game Color Dead White to highlight. Now the vines are too bright compared to the rest of the model, so I'm highlighting the face again so that your eyes are naturally drawn to the face. This highlight just has more Rin Flesh mixed into it. At this point I felt that his left side was his better side, so I put the light source on the left. And I added some highlights to his body and his leg on that side as well. Here you can clearly see that there's light on his left. To make it even more convincing, we can add darkness or shadows to his right. The shadow color is a mix of camouflage black green and beaten purple. Green and purple are almost exactly opposite each other on the color wheel, so mixing the two of them produces an interesting neutral color. I still wasn't happy with the vines, but I decided to just wash it with some sepia ink and call it a day. Next, it's time for an oil wash. I'm experimenting with using burnt umber and ultramarine here to see if I can get something that's more interesting than just a neutral gray. I'm applying this liberally over the model, but at the same time I'm directing where the pigment pools using my brush. With this particular model, I decided I didn't need to do any cleanup after the oil dried. And with that, I'm calling it done, the first of many of this board game. I'll be painting all the minis here and making videos of them, so if you like this video, please subscribe and come back for more. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed painting with me.